This is a song I wrote for my friend Samantha. Um, she was in a fight for her life. She had a heart tumor that was discovered kind of by accident, but they discovered it, and she was going to Texas to have it removed in August 2019, and a lot of complications happened as a result of that. They did remove it, but then there was just a series of other things that just kept happening, and there was a group of us, her friends, that were in a text chain. We didn't even know who all was in it, but there was just so much praying happening, sometimes all through the night, just us waking up and praying, and God just really used that time to really draw all of us closer to Him, and through how much we loved her and were praying for her. And we really did believe that He was going to heal her here on earth. And on August 25th, she went to be with Jesus, and so He healed her, just not the way that we expected. And that was hard and confusing a little bit, but at the same time, we all just knew that our prayers were not in vain, and that God did heal her, and that we just got to be part of praying for her and just drawing closer to Him. And I know she's with Jesus, and I can just picture her infectious laugh. And she was one that enjoyed nature, and so when she would come visit me in Florida, she wanted to go to the beach every single day, and we did. And she just would let out this like squeal of delight when we'd get there, and just like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And she just found joy in everything, and she just glorified God so much. I feel like every single conversation we had, there was some talk about the Lord and what He's doing and what He's saying and what He's showing. And I just picture her now in glory, standing before our Savior and just worshiping and just being healed from all the pain that had been in her life and in her body towards the end there. And that gives me peace in knowing that she's with Jesus and that I'll get to see her again someday. While we were praying for her, and before she had passed away, I had a dream about her. And in the dream, I saw her from afar, and she was all dressed up and just like perfectly healed and whole and beautiful. And she had really thick curly hair, and in the dream it was like long and down and just beautiful. And she was with a guy, which at the time I had the dream, I thought, okay, that's her future husband, and that's God showing me that she's going to be married. But now I'm wondering if maybe it was Jesus, or I don't know. I really don't know, but I did see her healed and whole, and I believe that she is with Him and that she is healed and whole. So it gives me peace knowing that I saw her in that dream and that she was that way. And she turned and she smiled at me like this huge smile, and she just waved like she was about to walk off with Him, and she turned back and waved at me with this big smile. And then in the dream, it cut from that to me with a bunch of friends, and we were talking about her and her journey and how she was still in the hospital and praying. And I started singing a song, and my friends were listening, and I was like, I better write this down. I'm making this up like as I go, but I feel like I need to write this down. And they were surprised that I was like making it up as I go. And then the dream cut to some other things, including her giving me a hug and telling me she knew that I was with her, and even though I wasn't there in person in Texas, and she felt me near, and she hugged me, and we cried together. And I knew I was dreaming, and I even said that in my dream. I know I'm dreaming, but I'm so glad to see you, and I wish I could be there. And she just kept saying, you are there. I feel your prayers. I feel your spirit. And it's very similar to a conversation we had not long before she went in for the surgery. I had taken a couple trips this summer, one to Ethiopia and Uganda, a mission trip, and then we stayed longer to see my son's family. And then we went to Michigan to see my family for the first time in 2 years. And so it was just, finances were really tight and I couldn't really do any other trips. And I had said to her, I want to come visit you. And I wish I was there. I just want to give you a hug. I know this is stressful. And she's like, I just feel you. I feel you close. Like, don't worry. Distance doesn't separate. Like, I can feel your prayers. And anyway, so I have a text from her that says that. And it gives me a lot of peace reading back that. And I do feel like she did feel me and a lot of other people around her that were friends with her that had been calling and praying. And I do feel like she felt us close, even though we weren't like in person. Anyway, so a couple days before she passed away, we were doing communion. Her friend Patty did a Facebook Live, and she did communion, and we all took communion together and were praying. And when I got finished with that Facebook Live, and then I was just still sitting there praying, I felt very strongly that God was saying, write the song. And I was like, oh yeah, the song in my dream, which I don't remember the song. I just knew I was singing one. It's not like I woke up and was like, oh, here's the words. I really didn't know what I was singing, but I remembered in the dream I was singing and I was writing a song. And so I felt like God said, write the song now before the miracle happens. So I wrote it. I believe it was on like Friday the 23rd, I think. I wrote the song, and I hadn't written a song in a really long time. I used to do that all the time, and I used to sing in a band, and I used to do lots of music, and I haven't really done much of it at all in years, and especially not writing a song. And so I sat down to write the song, and it just flowed out probably within like 10 minutes. The whole thing was done, and I was like, I had a melody and everything, which doesn't always happen. I really didn't, and when I read it back, I feel like I didn't write this song. I did not write this. I feel like God really truly gave it to me. And anyway, so I sent it to Patty, and there was some stuff in it that was very, certain lines that really spoke to her, which was interesting. And then when Samantha passed away that Sunday, they decided to do a service in memory of her the following weekend, and Patty had called me and said she really wanted me to sing it at the service, and I didn't have music for it, which makes me really nervous because for some reason I wrote it like in a key that's kind of hard. But it just seemed like that's just how it's supposed to go. So anyway, I sang it at the service without music, and was really just honored to be able to do that and to be able to be there. Several people helped me be able to go there because, like I said, finances were really tight after those other 2 trips I took, and I just really didn't think I was going to be able to go, especially that short a notice. But several people, thank you, you know who you are, helped me get there. And I had a really sweet time in Nashville. I used to live there and got to spend time with some really sweet friends, got to visit my old house, which some friends of mine bought, and a lot of memories of Samantha in that house. It just seemed like that's where I was supposed to be, just sitting there at that dining table, looking out that bay window and thinking about all the times that she came over for Thanksgiving or Easter, or one Christmas she even spent with me there. And she was there to pray over every room the day I got the keys and signed on the house, and she was brought food, and there was no furniture in the house except for 2 bar stools that went at this little section of the bar. And anyway, there's just so many memories of her in that house. So it was really sweet to be able to go back there and also to be there for that memorial, to celebrate her life and to be with those friends that a lot of them I hadn't even met yet, but I'd heard about for so many years through her. And just, we had been praying together and having prayer calls, like conference calls and texts, and just God really was speaking to us. And so it was a really, really sweet time to be able to be there. Anyway, I'm totally rambling, but I just wanted to give the backstory on this song. And like I said, I really don't feel like I wrote it. I feel like God downloaded it into me, and I just was obedient to sit there and write it down. And bear with me because it is in a key that's a little challenging for me, and it doesn't have music yet. Although my friend Robin she did write some chords for it. We just don't have it like recorded or anything yet. Anyway, so here it is. Through our love for her, the Father draws us in. reminding us that He's the one who washes clean our sins. He's the one holding her when all might seem lost. And He's got the final word because He knows what it cost. He makes a way when it looks like there is none. He knows our pain, but the story isn't done. He's about to show His glory. You just wait and see. The walls come crashing down, the parting of the sea. The God of miracles is setting captives free. We stand in faith with Jesus on the throne. He's with us now. We don't have to walk alone. When the doctors say there's no hope, we know in whom we trust. The God who raises the dead to life is calling out to us. He makes a way, even in the darkest night. He calms the storm. He calls us into light. He's about to show His power. You just wait and see. He's already conquered death. In Him it's victory. The God of miracles is setting captives free. Out of the grave, out of the dark, into the light, a brand new heart. Hold on tight, He isn't done. Witness the power of the risen one. He makes a way when it looks like there is none. He knows our pain, but the story isn't done. He's about to show His glory. You just wait and see. The walls come crashing down, the parting of the sea. The God of miracles is setting captives free. He's about to show the world. Oh, you wait and see. The God of miracles setting captives free. The God